Rodri had an extraordinary year. In the 2022 to 2023 season, he was the backbone of Manchester City's midfield, driving them to a historic treble, the Premier League, FA Cup, and the UEFA Champions League. His contribution goes far beyond what the statistics might show. He was the metronome, the anchor, and often the difference maker in crucial moments. Let's start with the Premier League. Rodri played 36 out of 38 games for Manchester City. His presence was critical in a team that dominated English football. He completed the most passes in the entire league with a staggering 2,873 passes and had a passing accuracy of 91.5%. No other player came close to controlling the flow and rhythm of a game like he did. He maintained an average of 90 passes per game and consistently created opportunities from deep positions, often transitioning from defense to attack with ease. His 97 interceptions were among the highest in the league, showcasing his ability to read the game defensively and stop opposition attacks before they could pose any real threat. Rodri's influence was most evident in Manchester City's big matches. Against Arsenal, who were their closest title challengers, Rodri was a fortress in the midfield. He completed 93% of his passes, made 5 tackles, and 4 key interceptions. These numbers are not just statistics. They tell the story of a player who was always in the right place at the right time, breaking up opposition play and ensuring City maintained their dominance. In the Champions League, Rodri was a force of nature. His moment of brilliance came in the final against Inter Milan. With the game locked in a tense stalemate, it was Rodri who scored the only goal, a beautifully controlled finish that epitomized his calmness under pressure. That goal delivered Manchester City's first ever Champions League trophy and underscored Rodri's ability to deliver in the most critical moments. He finished the tournament with more completed passes than any other player, proving his capacity to dictate the game on Europe's biggest stage. Rodri also shined in the UEFA Super Cup, where he played the full 90 minutes and orchestrated the midfield, leading City to yet another trophy. His presence on the field is like a conductor leading an orchestra. Without him, the entire structure risks falling apart. His performances have been recognized with multiple Man of the Match awards, and he was named UEFA Champions League Midfielder of the Season, an accolade that speaks volumes about his impact in Europe. Then there's the UEFA Euro 2024 qualifiers. Rodri continued his exceptional form with the Spanish national team. In matches against Norway and Scotland, he was again the focal point of his team's performance, with crucial interceptions, tackles, and passes that led to goals. Spain's resurgence on the international stage has been in no small part due to his contributions, bringing calmness and balance to their midfield. Now let's compare this to Vinicius Jr. Vinicius had an impressive season with Real Madrid, no doubt. He scored 23 goals and provided 21 assists across all competitions, making him one of the most productive forwards in Europe. His dribbling skills, speed, and flair make him a spectacle to watch. However, it's important to note that while Vinicius is undeniably talented, his impact is often limited to the final third. He operates in a role where he can afford to make mistakes, miss chances, and rely on teammates to cover for him defensively. Rodri, on the other hand, doesn't have that luxury. He plays in a position where a single mistake can be catastrophic. He is the player who connects the defense to the attack, breaks up opposition plays, and dictates the tempo. While Vinicius can win you games, Rodri prevents you from losing them and controls the flow for the entire team. The Ballon d'Or should recognize not just moments of brilliance, but sustained excellence, consistency, and the ability to make the entire team perform better. Rodri has done that all season long. And then there's Jude Bellingham, the young sensation at Real Madrid. Bellingham had a breakout season and has quickly established himself as one of the best young players in the world. He contributed significantly with goals and assists and displayed maturity beyond his years. His performances for Real Madrid and the England national team were outstanding, particularly in the Champions League, where he scored crucial goals in the group stage. But Bellingham, still only 20, is at the beginning of his career. His influence on the game is still emerging, whereas Rodri is at his peak, consistently delivering at the highest level across all competitions. Rodri's year was not defined by a few highlights, but by an unyielding standard of excellence across every single match he played. He showed up in every important moment, whether it was the Premier League, Champions League, or international duty with Spain. He controlled the midfield like few can, combining defensive solidity with offensive creativity. Rodri embodies what it means to be a complete player. He is as crucial defensively as he is in building attacks. While other players can dominate dominate in patches, Rodri has been a leader, a conductor, and a winner throughout the season. His ability to stay calm under pressure, read the game like a seasoned veteran, and deliver when it matters most sets him apart from every other candidate this year. Rodri deserves the Ballon d'Or because he represents the essence of modern football, a player who is indispensable in every phase of the game, a player whose contributions elevate not only himself but everyone around him, and a player who has proven his worth on every stage he has graced. For all these reasons and more, Rodri stands out as the most deserving candidate for the Ballon d'Or. Not just because he won titles, but because he was the driving force behind those victories, a true midfield maestro whose time has come. Rodri's ability to dominate games from midfield was unparalleled. In matches where City faced low blocks, it was his positional sense and passing vision that allowed them to break down stubborn defenses. The fact that Rodri often had the ball at his feet was no accident. His teammates constantly looked to him as the orchestrator of attacks. His distribution was not just about playing simple sideways or backward passes. His ability to break the lines with precise forward passes allowed City to transition quickly and efficiently from defense to attack, catching opponents out of shape. No other player came close to his level of influence in controlling the flow and rhythm of a game. In addition to his passing ability, Rodri also had a crucial role in starting attacks. He often transitioning from defense to attack with ease, a skill that only the very best midfielders possess. His composure on the ball, even when pressed by opposition players, was a hallmark of his season. Rodri's ability to stay calm and find the right pass under pressure allowed City to maintain control of the game even in the tightest of situations. He acted as a conduit through which almost all of City's play flowed, making him the central figure in their success. His defensive statistics tell part of the story, but his real influence was felt in the intangibles: positioning, awareness, and decision-making. Rodri's ability to anticipate where the danger was coming from allowed him to snuff out threats before they materialized. His spatial awareness meant that he was rarely caught out of position, and when he was called upon to make a challenge, he did so with precision and intelligence. Tackles were made with purpose, often winning the ball cleanly and allowing City to immediately transition to attack. In many ways, Rodri served as the ultimate safety net for Manchester City, ensuring that the opposition never had an easy route to goal. City conceded the fewest goals in the Premier League that season, and while the defense deserves credit, Rodri's role in shielding them cannot be overlooked. He was often the first line of defense, intercepting passes and making tackles in the midfield that stopped opposition attacks before they reached City's backline. His ability to win the ball back in key areas allowed City to maintain their high defensive line, pressing teams deep into their own half and suffocating their ability to counterattack. In the Carabao Cup final against Manchester United, Rodri once again showcased his defensive capabilities and his ability to control the tempo of the game. He completed 96% of his passes, made crucial interceptions, and was a key figure in ensuring City dominated possession throughout the match. His ability to maintain calm and dictate play in the midfield was essential to City's ability to control the game, limiting United's chances to counterattack and keeping City in charge throughout the final. But his performance in the final was just the culmination of a tournament where he was consistently one of the best players throughout, proving his capacity to dictate the game on Europe's biggest stage. He excelled not only in possession, but also in defensive phases, breaking up play, starting attacks, and maintaining City's control of the game. His ability to read the game, intercept passes, and distribute with accuracy made him irreplaceable in City's midfield. Rodri's excellence was recognized when he was named the UEFA Champions League Midfielder of the Season. This accolade spoke volumes about his consistency and quality on Europe's biggest stage. It was not just his goal in the final that won him the award, but his contributions throughout the entire campaign. Whether in tough knockout games against Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, or in the group stages, Rodri was always one of City's standout performers. His presence in midfield gave City the platform to control games and ultimately win their first ever Champions League title. Rodri's season didn't end with the Champions League victory. He continued his run of exceptional performances in the UEFA Super Cup, where he played the full 90 minutes and orchestrated the midfield, leading City to yet another trophy. His presence on the field is like a conductor leading an orchestra. Without him, the entire structure risks falling apart. His performances have been recognized with multiple Man of the Match awards, and he was named UEFA Champions League Midfielder of the Season, an accolade that speaks volumes about his impact in Europe. To be recognized as the best midfielder in a competition that features the world's best players is no small feat. This award was just one of many individual honors that came Rodri's way during the season. He was also named Manchester City's Player of the Season, an incredible achievement considering the caliber of players in the squad. In a team filled with stars like Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland, Rodri stood out for his consistency, leadership, and ability to perform in the biggest moments. Beyond club football, Rodri has continued his exceptional form with the Spanish national team. In the UEFA Euro 2024 qualifiers, he was again the focal point of his team's performance, with crucial interceptions, tackles, and passes that led to goals. In matches against Norway and Scotland, Rodri was instrumental in Spain's resurgence on the international stage. His calmness and balance in midfield have been pivotal in stabilizing a team that has often struggled to find its rhythm in recent years. His ability to control games, to provide a platform for his teammates to excel, is a quality that very few players possess. Rodri's role in Manchester City's treble-winning season was far more comprehensive than either Vinicius or Bellingham's. He is the quintessential deep-lying playmaker, the player who controls the tempo, dictates play, and shields the defense. His statistical contributions, like completing the most passes in the Premier League with a remarkable 91.5% accuracy and making 97 interceptions, highlight his dual role as both a creator and a destroyer. Rodri, on the other hand, doesn't have that luxury. He plays in a position where a single mistake can be catastrophic. He is the player who connects the defense to the attack, breaks up opposition plays, and dictates the tempo. While Vinicius can win you games, Rodri prevents you from losing them and controls the flow for the entire team. The Ballon d'Or should recognize not just moments of brilliance, but sustained excellence, consistency, and the ability to make the entire team perform better. Rodri has. In the end, football is a team sport, and Rodri's ability to be the heartbeat of one of the most successful teams in history should not be underestimated. He has been the steady hand, the reliable presence, and the driving force behind one of the greatest seasons any player has had in recent memory. The Ballon d'Or is not just for the flashy, the spectacular, or the headline-grabbing performances. It is for the best player in the world, and this year, that player is Rodri.